Hey, everybody. This is Mind Fitness Monday, and today we're talking about the ditching the diet mindset. So, thank you for joining me today. These are 5 quick tips to learn how to ditch your diet mindset and help you lose weight. We all, particularly this time of year, people make those New Year's resolutions and they want to strive and hit the mark and lose that weight and try to eat better, but they start falling off because they are willing themselves to try to change things. So, this is all about changing that mindset and changing your perspective about food. And so, one technique that is used, the first tip is thinking about what the foods actually provide you. So, if you really think about what the foods provide you, is it just going to be fats and sugars? Is it like that entertainment type of food, or is it for pleasure, or is it really providing your body substance, the nutrients that your body really needs? So when you start changing that focus on what you're just eating and you're putting in and doing it quickly, um, and start really thinking about what that food provides you, it makes a big difference in how you are um, looking at food and how you eat it. Once you start looking at food differently, you gradually start making that shift. You will start noticing that you might find yourself making those healthier choices because it's providing you the nutrients that your body needs to sustain the energy to allow you to do the work or the activity for the day. Another tip is to also, when you're eating, to be very, very mindful of what you're doing, to actually enjoy the food, to sit down. I know, I'm 4 kids, single mom, 4 kids, working full time, have side business. And sometimes it's hard to find that time to sit down to eat, and you're eating on the go, eating in the car. So I understand that, but to really add that as part of your day, because it is very important to nourish your body, um, and to nourish it with good, healthy foods. So the second tip is to be very mindful. So when you're eating, sit down, enjoy the food, take small bites, um, and focus on what you're doing at that time. Mindless eating. Think about it when you're mindless eating. If you have a bag of chips or a thing of cookies, you might be sitting there not thinking about what you're doing, maybe working on an assignment, maybe watching TV, maybe working on your computer, whatever it might be, playing video games, scrolling social media. But you wind up, and next thing you know, the bag of chips is gone, the cookies are gone, and so all these extra calories and empty calories at that you've just eaten, and you didn't really even get to enjoy the taste and the experience of eating that food. So think about mindful eating. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3: slow down. When you're sitting there and you're being mindful about what you're eating, take small bites and chew your food slowly. People that eat slower and chew their food slower, research shows they eat less calories. So if you slow down that eating process instead of eating it, I know, we're like rush, 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 rush. We need to slow down, chew that food slowly. And not only that, it allows your body to digest that food easier. It's easier on the whole digestive system. If you're eating your food quickly, it can actually cause discomfort and kind of blockage in the digestive system. So chew that food slowly, and it can actually allow you to eat less calories. So that's tip number 3. So 1, we want to change our perspective on what the food's providing us. 2, we want to be mindful when we eat. 3, we want to really slow down. And tip number 4, one way to also reduce the amount of calories is water. Water is something our bodies need, and a lot of people don't get enough water. A lot of people drink all these other soft drinks and coffee drinks and shakes and everything else, and they think they're staying hydrated, but you need water. If you drink a glass of water, an 8-ounce glass of water before you sit down to eat, it'll help fill you up. And then while you're eating, make sure between bites, this will help slow you down your chewing too. Take sips of water in between. Couple reasons water is great. 1, it will fill you up, so you feel a little more full and you won't eat as much. 2, it slows down the eating process, and it actually helps with the body's fluid. The body needs fluid to help digest and flush toxins and things out of your body, so that extra fluid is ideal to put in your body. So drink a glass of water before you start eating. I'd say within 20 or 30 minutes before you start eating, that'll help fill you up. No more than 30 minutes before. And then while you're eating, make sure you set that fork down, whatever it is, the food down, and take sips in between your meal while you're eating. And the last tip is to just in general, when you're eating foods and you're selecting foods and select those foods that are most in their whole natural state. So if 85% of the time you're eating foods that are mostly in their whole natural state and avoiding all these other toxins, the artificial coloring, artificial flavors, additives and preservatives that are all in our foods. These are not recognized by the body. And so the body holds on to them, and it will be taxing on the liver because that helps take in substances and toxins in the body. And then the liver needs to flush it out of your system. So if you overload the body with foods that are loaded with additives, preservatives, and dyes, then your body's going to slow down. And guess what it does? It holds on to those calories. And then people start gaining the weight. So eat foods in their whole natural state and look for foods that don't have additives, preservatives, or dyes in them, and nothing artificial. I always look for foods that have all natural flavoring, color, and coloring. You can look because if it has like red dye number whatever and blue and yellow dyes in there, then you might want to avoid that, particularly if you have little kids. And a lot of research shows that the dyes in the foods can cause hyperactivity and behavioral problems in the kids. So it's not so much the sugar, but it could be the reaction to the dyes. And some kids are allergic to the dyes. Some people are allergic to the dyes. So those are 5 quick tips. 1, change your perspective on what the food provides you. Once you start thinking about what the food is actually providing you, you will start changing the way you look at it. For me personally, I stopped eating a lot of sugar because I was like, well, it doesn't really provide me. It's just a bunch of empty calories in the foods that I was eating. And then I started noticing how much better I felt when I didn't eat those sugary foods. And every now and again, if I did have something, it made me feel sick because my body got used to more natural, healthier foods. Lots of raw veggies. Frozen veggies would be the second best option, and then canned would be the last best option. So these are 5 great tips to change it. So change your perspective. Think about what that food provides you before you put it in your body. Is this going to be this fun, flavorful food? I know if you're going to a party, or maybe, allow yourself to have some of those foods. I'm not going to say completely cut things out of your diet, but really, really limit it. Remember, 85% rule there. Eat healthy most of the time. And number 2, be mindful of what you're eating. Enjoy the food. Enjoy it. It's what your body needs. So chew the food, enjoy it, smell it, taste it, touch it, and really be mindful of what you're doing. And through that mindfulness also leads you to tip number 3, where you slow down eating and chewing your food. So you eat less and take in less calories. When you eat quicker, people tend, if you go longer periods throughout the day without eating, and then all of a sudden you grab onto food, you're shoving it in, you're going to overeat, and then you're going to feel kind of sick to your stomach and have overeaten the calories. So slow down chewing the food. Number 4, drink the water. Drink the water before you eat and in between the bites during your meal. That slows you down and fills you up all in the same go. Cuts down on the calories that you're eating. Number 5, choose foods in their whole natural state. And I'm going to throw in a little tip there too. A way to maintain that blood sugar level is eat every 2 to 3 hours. If you go, more than 4 hours without eating, it can make your blood sugar drop. And that's where people tend to overeat when they do get around food. So, and some of that comes in with planning, but we can get into that later. Planning your meals is ideal. Getting the foods that you need, quick, simple foods. A lot of grocery stores now have good, healthy foods, fruits, veggies, already prepackaged, cut, cleaned, ready to go. Nuts, veggies, fruits, yogurts, things like that are quick, easy little snacks that you can have that'll kind of take the edge off and keep your blood sugar at a level. Because if your blood sugar drops, you want to overeat. If it spikes, you're going to be bouncing off the walls. So it can fluctuate greatly, and you want to maintain that level. So eat a little something every 2 to 4 hours. It doesn't mean whole full meals every 2 to 3 hours, but little snacks throughout the day. So those are your tips for today. Hopefully this will be helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And as always, you can like and subscribe to the video if you like what you're seeing. So hopefully here's to better eating and to losing that weight and keeping it off. You guys have a great day.